The year 2025 began with a scene of terrifying beauty in California. Wildfires raged across the state, painting the skies an apocalyptic orange. From the canyons of Los Angeles to the forested hills further north, flames devoured acres of land. The images were shocking. They were also a stark reminder of the state's vulnerability to a threat that seems to be growing more dangerous every year. How did these fires begin? And what factors contributed to their ferocity? The first flames ignited on January 7th in Pacific Palisades, a wealthy enclave of Los Angeles. The exact cause of the initial spark remains under investigation. However, the conditions for rapid spread were already in place. California and much of the American West had been in the grip of a severe drought. Vegetation was tinder dry, primed and ready to fuel any fire that might start. Drought is a slow-moving disaster. It creeps up on a region, gradually depleting water sources and parching the landscape. By the end of 2024, a mere 40.9% of California was considered drought-free. This was a dramatic decrease from the previous year when over 96% of the state had sufficient water. The consequences of this prolonged drought were evident in the dry, brittle vegetation. It became a landscape primed for combustion. The lack of rainfall had turned forests and grasslands into tinderboxes. Trees and shrubs that would normally hold moisture were brittle and dry. The smallest spark, whether from lightning, human carelessness, or a downed power line, had the potential to ignite a conflagration. And ignite it did. As the fires began to spread, another natural phenomenon came into play: the Santa Ana winds. These winds, unique to Southern California, originate in the Great Basin and Mojave Desert. They rush down from the high desert, gaining speed as they are funneled through canyons and mountain passes. They are hot, dry winds, often reaching speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. The Santa Ana winds have a devastating effect on wildfires. They act like bellows, pushing the flames through dry vegetation with incredible force. They also carry embers, sometimes for miles, which can spark new fires far from the original blaze. In the case of the January 2025 fires, the Santa Ana winds played a critical role in their rapid spread. While natural factors like drought and wind create the conditions for wildfires, human actions often provide the spark. According to the Center for Disaster Philanthropy, approximately 85% of wildfires in the United States are ignited by people. These ignitions can be accidental, such as a spark from a car's exhaust on dry grass or a campfire that is not properly extinguished. Sometimes human actions are deliberate, with individuals starting fires intentionally. Regardless of the cause, human activity plays a significant role in the ignition and spread of wildfires. While the exact cause of the January 2025 California wildfires is still under investigation, it is highly likely that human actions played a part. Section 5. Dispelling the myths of curses. In the wake of disasters, it's not uncommon for some to seek explanations in the realm of the supernatural. However, attributing the California wildfires to curses or any other mystical force is not only inaccurate but also detracts from the very real and urgent issue of climate change. These fires are not a manifestation of some ancient curse. They are a consequence of complex environmental factors, many of which are exacerbated by human activities. To understand and address the growing threat of wildfires, we must ground our understanding in science and evidence-based analysis. Section 6. A battle against nature's fury. The January 2025 wildfires presented a formidable challenge for firefighters. The combination of dry conditions, high winds, and rugged terrain made containment extremely difficult. Firefighters worked tirelessly, putting their lives on the line to protect homes and communities, but the fires were relentless, fueled by the perfect storm of conditions. Some fires were contained, while others continued to burn for days, resisting even the most valiant efforts. The battle against these infernos highlighted the bravery of firefighters and the increasing challenges they face in the era of climate change. Section 7. Climate change, the unseen force multiplier. While not directly causing the fires, climate change acts as a force multiplier, intensifying the factors that contribute to their frequency and severity. Rising global temperatures lead to more frequent and severe droughts. Warmer air holds more moisture, further drying out vegetation. The relationship between climate change and wildfires is a dangerous feedback loop. Wildfires release massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, further contributing to global warming. As the planet continues to warm, we can expect to see even more extreme fire seasons, both in California and around the world. Section 8. A future engulfed in flames. The January 2025 California wildfires were a stark reminder of the state's vulnerability to fire. But these fires are not an isolated incident. They are part of a larger trend of increasing wildfire activity in the western United States and other fire-prone regions around the globe. As climate change continues to exacerbate drought and create hotter, drier conditions, the threat of wildfires will only grow. We must prepare for a future where wildfires are not just a seasonal threat, but a year-round danger. Section 9. The urgency of now. The 2025 California wildfires should serve as a wake-up call. We can no longer afford to ignore the growing threat of climate change. We must take immediate action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, invest in renewable energy sources, and adapt to a changing climate. The future of our planet, and the safety of communities around the world, depend on it. Let the devastation of these fires be a catalyst for change, a reminder that the time to act is now.